Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Shooting the Shit with Yankee. As always, I'm Yankee, so let's start shooting. Tonight's topic is, I want to hear from you out there, get a consensus from my viewers. What do you think about the two major political parties? Do either of them actually support your gun rights? Or is it all just theater and lip service? That's what I want to hear from you guys. And I'm going to start us off by saying, I don't think either of them do. Neither of them care whatsoever about your gun rights. In fact, they actively want you to lose them, both Republicans and Democrats. They play the same game. They just choose which topic they're going to be pro on and negative on. It's like how the Republicans rail when Democrats try to pass an anti-gun law. But then when they're in power, they don't repeal it. They don't do anything positive for gun rights because the people they serve, the elite, don't want us having guns. So that's their real goal, is to disarm all of us. It's the same thing with the Democrats. When they scream and yell, oh, the Republicans are giving tax breaks to the rich people again, and then they get control. Do they cancel any of those tax breaks? Do they take the money back from the billionaires and the big industries? No. They go, oh, we've got other things on our plate. So it's all a fucking game. It's all theater. It's all orchestrated in a way to maintain a 50-50 division on every topic. And neither of them has any desire to change that or give you any rights whatsoever. They want the country to continue being ruled by the oligarchs that pay their checks. And not only pay their checks for being a senator, but help them get rich in the stock market and provide them with luxuries they would never, ever have simply by being owned, for being their mouthpieces in Congress. So no, neither side cares about your gun rights or any of your actual rights. It's all theater, in my opinion, at least. Let's go over and see if anybody agrees or disagrees with me over here. Aaron Talks Firearms says the GOP is 1 foot in and 1 foot out. The Dems are actively hostile to the Second Amendment. Neither are good for our rights long term. Yeah, and when the Republicans are 1 foot in, they shake it all about because it's just a little dance they're doing to try to convince you of something. The stuff they do, the putting the foot in, shaking it about, is about as likely to get you your gun rights back as a rain dance is to actually make it rain. It's all theater, in my opinion. I'm putting words in his mouth, but he's lucky I don't put something else in his mouth. Sean Bain. Elephants, no. Monkeys, hell no. I think he means donkeys. Donkeys, hell no, not monkeys. I think monkeys would be chimpanzees would be pro-gun. I think bonobos would be anti-gun. So it depends on, neither of them are monkeys, though. They're apes. So I'm getting my monkeys and my apes confused. One has tails, one doesn't. Like mandarins, they're monkeys. They'd be pro-gun. So, yeah. John Heasley, that was Sean Bain, by the way, on Team Beat Us. It said elephants no, monkeys hell no. Donkeys, I think he means. John Heasley says, no, they both want us disarmed. I agree 100%. That's one thing I can agree with John Heasley on. Not much else, but I agree with him on that. Practical Bacon. Does either party support gun rights? That's hilarious. Of course not. Of course they don't. For the elites to continue to rule, for the 1% to continue to rule, as people are getting more and more aware of how they control the government, they're going to have to disarm the people. Keep the people angry with each other, keep them diverted, and then slowly take their rights away from them while they're busy fighting with each other until it's too late. Edgar Cortez said, both parties provide lip service to supporting gun rights, but begrudgingly. I don't believe either party generally wants us to be armed. Both parties have failed us. Well, they failed us in every way. They aren't of the people, by the people, for the people anymore. They're of the corporation, by the oligarch, and for the money. And that's been the case for a while now. It's been the case at least since the 70s, 80s, that it's been really apparent. And that's when all the money started quickly flowing to the top. If you look back at the 70s, the division of wealth in this country, and then look at the division of wealth now, it's so quickly it all went to the top. And they knew what they were doing, and they did it on purpose. And now they got to keep us angry and divided, or else we'll pay attention and we'll start demanding that stop. And that's what they can't have. Mr. Furley said lots of dollars to both parties for the status quo. Yeah, it's all about status quo. That's the same thing with the gun groups. That's what pays their checks, the status quo. They don't make money from having victories. They make money by having challenges and laws to fight against, etc. That's what they have to do. They have to rely on a hostile environment for them to make money, and no one's going to give them money. That's why I was like, I need to start being more hostile on here so people will give me money. I need to be more fear mongering and stuff. I can't do it though. I just don't believe in it. I'll try. But grr. Those who should we demonize? The Swedes? We could demonize the Swedes. Or how about the Finnish people? Oh, they need demonizing. Those dirty Finns. We start a nasty rumor about them, like Finns can't dance or something. Which might mean I'm Finnish because I can't dance. Where was we? I'm confused. Andrew Avila says, no, they do not support our rights, either party. Django, hush. Django. My co-host is getting mouthy. George Powell chimed in and said, no, but only one party wants to take away the rest of our rights, like voting, and I think he means the Republicans. And then Motor Racer Chris chimes in and says, not all lip service, but a lot. We got some stuff. Well, we ain't got nothing from the politicians. Anything we've gotten recently has been from the courts, and that was begrudgingly, and then they don't enforce it. So did we really get anything? You know, you can say like, oh, after the latest court victory, we got these rights back. But then states continue to violate those rights, and the Supreme Court doesn't do anything. So did we really get anything? And the whole thing with like the ATF, that was bullshit. You know, with the NFA, that was total bullshit. The system still stands and still doing the same thing. So just bullshit. And now it can be changed back when the Democrats come in power. They don't have to reenact a new law. They just have to alter the fee again, just like the Republicans did. If they'd have gotten rid of the NFA, well, if the Democrats wanted to put it back, they'd have had to get another law passed. Changing the fee is different. They can do that through a subsidy bill or a reconciliation bill. George Powell chimed in one more time to say, don't remember Dems trying to overthrow democracy. Well, other than how they all do and how they serve only the wealthy. But I will say that the Republicans are more aggressive about it because their base likes it for some reason. I've never understood why Republicans stand up and cheer every time that someone like a conservative leader will bust up a rally or demonize people, you know, protested against the government. Why would you? Aren't you the same people that say someday we're going to boogaloo? Well, you should be all about defying the government. And you should support other people when they do the same thing. You may not support their cause, but you should be confident enough to say, I support their right to make their cause known. And hopefully it'll fall on its own merit if it isn't good, but they still have a right to be heard. And I also agree they have a right to civil disobedience, etc. I love people who say, one day we're going to take up arms and forcefully take back the government, who say, that shouldn't be allowed to block traffic. But taking up arms and fighting back against the government, probably 70% of the people who don't think it's as big a problem as you do, that's okay. But blocking traffic that's where you draw the line. Doesn't make sense to me at all. That's it for us today. It looks like that was the last of the questions, or last of the responses. So how about you out there in YouTube land? What do you think? Do you feel that either of the parties actually support your gun rights or not? Let me know in the comment section below. If you want to weigh in on one of these topics in person, come to our live chat. Also, everybody remember, this is a restricted channel. So if you want to be alerted to videos we put out or when we go live or any of that stuff, make sure you click that little button down there and subscribe and turn on notifications to all. Also, I found it be more reliable if you go over to my actual page. So I'll link it up here. Go to my actual page, subscribe, and turn notifications to all, or you'll get none, because YouTube has restricted this channel. So go on over there and do that. And if you want to support the channel financially, go on over to TYMPpistolproject.com. Over there, you can sign up for Patreon, Subscribe Star, or you can go have a link to buy some of the merchandise we sell over there. All of it goes to support the programs we run. Patreon supports Pets and Vets. Subscribe Star can do Pets and Vets and TYMPPP, depending on what tier you choose. And merchandise supports TYMPPP and possibly coming up, Handguns for Heroes. So please go over and support us if you can. Best way to support the channel, which people always ask, just go donate $2 a month through Patreon. You'll never notice $2 a month, but enough people do it, it makes a huge difference. Help out with as many animals as you can help us with. We will do as much for as many as we can. So thanks everybody for coming, especially those that participated tonight and helped support the Pets and Vets program. I appreciate everything everybody does to help keep the channel on air. So thank you for that, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Until then, remember, always carry and stay safe until I see you again.